and welcome back to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the Target exclusive Skywarp and Thundercracker Earthrise 2-pack set. Now this is a very recently released set, and I was able to get my hands on it thanks to my buddy Lance. Thank you very much again, sir. This is a really nice set. We kind of knew it was coming. They are pretty much straight repaints. The only one that does have a retool is the head on Skywarp here. He has a screaming face, which is sort of weird. I kind of like stoic faces, or maybe some slight smirk or something. Starscream would be good with a smirk on the figures. I'm not a huge fan of the screaming face. It is very strange. However, they are decked out very nicely. They are incredibly high quality, keeping with the quality from Siege, I would say, and from the recent release of Starscream. Now they do have a couple areas. Well, each one has the same area where there is no paint, as where I think there should be, which is on the tails here. Starscream has the paint there, the stripes, but neither of them do. And I'm not sure if that was a cost-saving measure or what, because these things do retail for the same price as 2 Voyagers would. So you'd think that maybe it was more of a design rather than to save some costs on the paint. Another area that I think could be improved on the paint is the insignias, which I'll go over in the review. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. And first, let's start out with the packaging. So these guys do come in a 2-pack together with this exclusive Earthrise style box. It says Cybertronian villains right there. Earthrise War for Cybertron trilogy. And on this side, we have the nice artwork. Let's get in close of that. Just them in jet form, which is very cool. You can see the arc there in the background. So they look like they're attacking the Autobots. On the back, you do get what's expected usually on the box: the alt modes and the robot modes. On the other side is just the Earthrise logo imaging. Not much to see on the bottom here. Decepticon logo and the War for Cybertron Trilogy logo. And inside the box, you also get the instruction booklet, which is kind of minimalistic. You have the 2 of them on the front here. Of course, you don't need both to show both of them in the instructions, but very small. It's a very small, flimsy paper, but it's very clear, legible. You can see how they are transformed to and from. And there is an insert in the box. It does come with a decoder. However, there's nothing to decode. It is just a red line. You can see there's no other red in this image at all. It is completely blue. That's pretty much it. It's kind of weird that it comes with a decoder with nothing to decode. And of course, the stars of the packaging. What you got it for? Skywarp and Thundercracker. So these guys are really nice. They have nice colors. The blue really pops. It is not that darker color blue that is on the Classics version or the G1 version. The Skywarp also has a really nice shade of purple, almost looking like that I believe it was a Chinese or Japanese box set of the Classic Seekers. He has more of that type of purple on it. He has less of a pink purple and more of a rich royal purple. It is done very nice. Now, the sculpt-wise, they're exactly the same with the exception of the head on Skywarp here. Let's get in close on that one. I am not too much a fan of this face sculpt. He is screaming. It's just an odd choice for me. I prefer stoic faces, but I mean, it doesn't detract from it too much. If they actually painted the inside of the mouth black or something. But as you can see on the head, nice red eyes. Now this head is actually painted black, which is not, so it's not cast in black. I don't know if I can get it on camera. Inside under the eyes is kind of not painted. You can see it's actually cast in a purple plastic. But let's go over some of the nice detail on him. It is all the same sculpt work as Starscream. One thing to notice, he does have these Decepticon logos right here. Now, this one's a little blurry, but it's also really hard to see. I don't necessarily mind it so much on Skywarp. I kind of like how it's kind of ghosted on there. Almost looks like the Masterpiece did, how those were ghosted on. But I believe on Thundercracker, it actually detracts from the figure. So the back of the figure, like the back of the figure. Oh, another thing, no paint on the tail wings. But nice silver details on the chest with the gunmetal on the chest vents there. Overall, he does look very nice. Let's get in closer here at Thundercracker just to be fair, give him a good look over. You can see the nice colors on him as well. Same with the silver and gunmetal on the chest. Same purple on the wing here. It's just, you could barely make out that. If it had some white under it, it would look a lot better. But going down. Again, no paint on the tail there. The back. Nose cone is solid blue, not painted black. Like Starscream's, would be painted blue. His head, this time around, looks like, best I can tell, looks like it's cast in black plastic, not painted. But he does not have a screaming face. He has a nice stoic face. It's a really nice face sculpt. Now for a comparison, here they are next to their respective masterpiece. So you can see the blue is much, much lighter. Maybe it doesn't show up as well on camera as it does in person, but this is a much lighter blue. However, he doesn't actually have any paint here, so this actually looks a lot nicer on the silver parts. And him, of course, I don't have the MP11 version of him, but this is how he looks. Now, what I mean by the ghosting is if you look on the wings of the masterpiece, it has a metallic logo. It actually shows up way better here because I have the lights on, but in person it almost blends in with the wing, and then in a certain light it comes right out. It's hard to show up on camera like that. It shows up actually way better on camera. It does in person. I tend to have a tendency to like that. Now this would be nice if this one were like that and had some metallicness to it, which would set it off very nicely. And here they are with their classics versions. So as you can see, the purple is much darker on Skywarp, and on the classics version, it's much more pink. This looks a lot better. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple on it. As you can see, again, with the difference in tone in the blue. See if I can get that to show up a little closer. It looks, on camera, it's actually blending in more than it does in person. But you could tell that this one is much darker. However, you know, he still looks nice. I actually really, it's a very pleasing blue that's on this one instead of this darker one. If you notice though, the wing has the silver outline on the faction symbol. I wish they could have done that with this one. It would have made it pop a lot better. I think it would have felt a little better. Also, the tail is painted like it should be on both of them. So that is something that I wish they did. However, they are quite nice. They look beautiful together. So let's take a look at these guys in alt mode. And since I'm sure you guys have all seen my Starscream review, I will just skip ahead to the alt mode. Okay, and here they are in their alt mode. Now they look very, very nice together. All the nice colors are all the plastics are very, very similar. With Skywarp being, of course, all black, having the most similarities. Now again, this would have benefited from white or silver around it. On the jet mode, I don't mind it in robot mode. They do look kind of like splotches there. It still looks pretty good. I don't know, I'm on the fence about this one. Either one, I wouldn't mind if they went either way with them. I do like the ghosting, but it looks better on this than it does on, say, this one. Because as you can see in a plane, it just barely shows up. It kind of looks like a purple smear if you're looking from far away. You can't really tell what it is until you get right close up, and it's a tiny little Decepticon logo. He could do with some logos. Now, this plastic here shows up way worse on camera. It's different, but it is a little bit of a different color. It doesn't detract from the figure too much. Canopies are done in a orangey yellow color. And, of course, no landing gear. Just exactly like Starscream. And on Thundercracker, the null rays are done in the blue, as the same color as the rest. As to where Skywarp here, he has the purple null rays, which look beautiful on him. I do like this a lot. Now, one thing that on my set, when I transform these wing here, likes to pop off. It doesn't happen to Starscream or Thundercracker, but Skywarp's wing likes to pop off. It's not bad. You can just pop it right back in. Also, with all of them, be mindful, and I can't stress it enough, is this hinge right here, or this hook right here, because you have to unhook and rehook this every time you transform it, which over time could wear and possibly even break this little clip. So just be mindful of that when you're transforming these, sitting watching TV, transforming back and forth. Just something to look out for. Now for some comparisons with these guys. We'll start out with the obvious Earthrise Starscream. Gotta admit, they look beautiful together. This set is great. It is amazing. The canopy looks to be the same color on all of them. If you notice, the paint here is not present on either of the tails on either one of these. It does not have any paint on the tail. It kind of bothers me. The purple on Skywarp doesn't look so bad, but Thundercracker here is screaming for some paint. Actually, he's the one screaming. But overall, the trio looks fantastic together. It would be nice for some stands. It would almost be nice to have this set twice. I'm not going to go look for it, but it would be nice to have this set twice. Otherwise, the paint work is pretty much paint all in the same areas. Let's see if I can get it in here and show you guys. So the paint work on either is pretty much the same. It's got the knees colored there on either one. This little leg shin thruster is definitely painted. The feet are painted on both. The insignia, which is again just the purple, is also just the purple on Starscream. I do want to say it looks a little darker, but it's really kind of hard because the blue makes it kind of fade in, blend in a little bit together. Either way, I do these things. These guys look beautiful together. And here is the Thundercracker and Thundercracker. As you can see, the plastic definitely is much different. The stripes on the wings, this one is more G1 cartoon accurate, where this one has the little flare, which is like the masterpiece. So this still looks really nice. Both of them look very nice. The red, like the G1 figure on the tail, is missing. And of course the landing gear. The classics all have the landing gear on the chest, and these just have this little piece that comes here that it sits on. And here is Skywarp with the much more stylized stripes on the wings and even on the engines, as to where this is very much G1. It does have purple on the tail, where this one's tail is just purple. I kind of like this. I don't mind that it doesn't have stripes on the tail. Just note that there isn't anything on it. And again, no scones. And of course, I had to show them all together, looking awesome. They will look amazing to get on the shelf together with the rest of the family. All the joints on them are just as tight. There's no mold degradation. I have not had a single issue besides his wing falling off every once in a while. They are top-notch, very, very high-quality feeling figures. They all feel very nice, very stiff, as is the norm for the line now. So yeah, these guys are at Target, and pick them up if you find them. And now for my final thoughts. So these are every bit as good as the Earthrise Starscream that was just released. They are essentially updated classics, and they look great together. If you have Starscream, I highly recommend going out to Target and trying to find these. I do wish you best of luck. They did just come out, and a lot of people are having luck. So there are a few things. One, as I said before, the insignias. Now I could use some Toy Hacks labels and it would spruce those right up, but they're very difficult to see against the colors on these guys. Thundercracker does have the lighter sort of cartoony shade of blue instead of the darker metallic color that was on the Classics version. And Skywarp here looks fantastic. The shade of purple they use is beautiful, but it does suffer from that weird screaming head sculpt. The paint that they're missing here is kind of strange to me. However, it doesn't detract from the rest of the figure. I definitely love these figures. They do have nice tight joints. They are really nicely painted, and I highly recommend them. We will be getting the Coneheads for sure. And I guess what do we do with our Classic Seekers now? I have a full set of Classic Seekers that I'm just not going to use. They definitely are larger, and they are better figures than the Classic figures, and they actually fit better scale-wise in the Chug collection. But let's face it, Earthrise is the new Chug. They're just going to redo everything now. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Hit the thumbs down button if you have to. And I'll see you next time very soon.